iPhone 10 versus LG G6. That video is coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to my iPhone 10 versus my LG G6 speed test. Now, first of all, I apologize if the quality is not up to my normal standards. I am using the iPad to film this right now, and I'm not at my studio, so yeah, just bear with it for this video. But anyway, I've had the LG G6 since launch day, and this was basically the first phone this year that offered this really, all screen type of design. You can say, well, they have the bezel at the top and the bottom. It's not a full all screen. The iPhone gets closer, which is true, but at the same time, if you bought an LG G6 right now, you're paying like a third of the price of the iPhone 10 and still getting very similar specifications. You even get a wide angle lens here on the G6 versus a telephoto lens. But let's go ahead and begin with the boot up test and see which one is quicker to boot in 3, 2, and 1. And I believe it's going to be the iPhone 10. It's just a really fast phone to boot up. But you can see right there, LG, life's good. But we're going to see which one actually makes it to the home screen first. Now, the iPhone 10 does rock the A11 CPU with 3 GB of RAM. We have the Snapdragon 821 on the LG G6 with 4 GB of RAM. So this one's going to be close. No, it's not. Actually, there is the iPhone 10, and we're about 3 to 5 seconds in. And there's the LG G6. So it wasn't that slow to boot up on the G6. Okay, so in terms of unlocking both of these phones, they both present different challenges. While the Face ID is not always 100% accurate, it does work a lot of the time. And let's see if I can get it right here on camera. And there it goes. For the LG G6, you do have the fingerprint scanner on the rear, which is very accurate, but sometimes there's a slight pause in between actually pressing the fingerprint scanner and opening the device up. So both of them are not the fastest two devices I've seen all year when it comes to just purely unlocking the phone, but I would say the LG G6 is a little bit faster than the iPhone 10's two-step process to open your phone through Face ID. Now, Face ID does have authentication benefits to use on things like Chase Bank. You can use it on any banks really that are going to start supporting that, as well as other apps like PayPal and just security-based stuff. It's not too hard for developers to implement that into their applications, so that's a win for the iPhone 10. But we're here for a speed test, so let's go ahead and close out everything on both, and let's begin with this speed test. Okay guys, so both phones are set up exactly the same when it comes to the applications. Everything will be closed out here on the G6. Let's make sure everything is closed out here for the iPhone 10. And I do have them connected to the same Wi-Fi network. Let's begin with the calendar in 3, 2, 1. And you can see it's the iPhone 10 with an easy win there. And remember, this does have more of a competitive processor, or a little bit better than the Snapdragon 835. The LG G6 unfortunately is running a slightly older 821. Let's go to the calculator, 3, 2, 1. And you can see it's an easy win again for the iPhone. Now remember, I do have 1x animations on the G6, and I'm not using Nova Launcher, which can speed things up as well. Let's go into clock, 3, 2, 1. And you can see the clock is faster for the iPhone 10. That's 3 to 1. Let's go to settings. And you can see it's the iPhone 10 again. But now let's get into a couple of third-party applications to see if things change. Let's get into YouTube. And you can see YouTube is first for the LG G6, and there is the iPhone 10. So we have a third-party app win for the G6. Going to library. You can see the iPhone 10 catches up there. Going to my videos. And you can see, looks like the iPhone 10 won there. So it actually opened the app first in the G6, but once we got into the app, it seemed like the iPhone was responding a little bit better. Let's get into Instagram here. So 3, 2, 1. And you could see Instagram's first there for the LG G6 with ease. Coming home. Let's go into Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. And you can see Snapchat's a win there for the LG G6. Let's go into App Store and Play Store, 3, 2, and 1. And you can see that's a win for the iPhone 10. So the LG G6 gets 3 in the second row. Let's go to PieGeek, 3, 2, 1. And you can see it looks like the iPhone 10 wins that one. So these are pretty close in performance, even though the LG G6 is, an older processor. So there is the iPhone 10, only milliseconds behind is the G6. And this is just going to show you what a value you get with the LG G6. Now, I do believe the iPhone 10 is the better phone here, don't get me wrong, but what a great phone you're getting for such a low price in the G6. Let's go into the Chrome, And let's go into a website. How about we go to the Nick Ackerman channel.com. So Nick Ackerman channel. I hope it's not Jock. Nick Ackerman channel.com. Let's go into Nick Ackerman channel.com right here. And let's hit go in 3, 2, and 1. And you can see, wow, the iPhone 10, even on its own Google Chrome, not even its own browser, just rocketed to my channel's page right there, my website. So that was very fast. Let's go into Geekbench, and you can see the iPhone 10 once again. Now, where the LG G6 really shined, it actually beat the 7 Plus earlier this year, and my comparison between that phone was the multitasking. So let's go ahead and run some multitasking now. Let's run through the multitasking backwards. Let's go to Geekbench. You can see the iPhone 10 had it open, but so did the G6. We're looking for reloads in the apps here. Let's go into Chrome, and the G6 had it open as well. The animation to open app is just simply quicker for the 10. Let's go into Amazon, and you can see both were open there. Let's go into eBay, and you can see again, that animation is just silky smooth on the iPhone 10. Let's go to PieGeek, and you can see the iPhone 10 wins there. Let's go into Play Store, App Store, and both of them had them open though. So, you know, let's go into Snapchat. You're really just looking at animation speeds here because there's actually no reloads happening so far on the G6. Let's go to Instagram. Again, both had them open. Let's go into YouTube. And the LG G6 with the win, and there's a reload for the iPhone. What? So the LG G6 gets a win there. Let's go into settings. You can see that was faster for the 10. Let's go into clock. You can see faster for the 10. Let's go into calculator. And you can see faster for the 10 again. Let's go into calendar, and you can see it's faster on the 10 again. Now what I want to do is go ahead and change the animation speed to 0.5x, or actually I'm going to just knock it all the way down to 0 here on the G6, and I want to see if that can actually put these at a pretty even playing field when it comes to the performance, because basically I thought all we were looking at there was an animation speed difference. Let's go into Geekbench, and you can see right there, that's exactly the thing. Let's go into Chrome. Now look at the G6 come. You can see, look at that. So it's simply just the animation on the G6 was just simply slower than the 10, because you can see right here, all the applications are dead open on the G6, just like they are on the iPhone. So this was actually more fair than you might originally thought. I think we had a reload there on YouTube. So now the iPhone 10 doing a little bit better when it comes to the RAM management, but that animation speed alone though was seriously just making the G6 look slower. However, the iPhone 10 I still believe at the end of the day is a more powerful phone, but you can see the G6 is a great RAM management device here. The final benchmarks are in, and you can see it's an absolute crushing win for the iPhone 10 as expected. I only ran these because, you know, we just want to see them anyway, and LG doesn't cheat on their benchmarks. So you have 4177 on the multi-core and 1805. For the iPhone 10, it's the same old story, over 10,000 on the multi-core, 4270 on the single core. It's like a MacBook level performance. You can argue, do you really need that kind of performance in a phone? That was my speed test comparison between the iPhone 10 and the LG G6. Well, it's clear that the iPhone 10 was faster in a lot of respects, but it wasn't by leaps and bounds that you would expect for a $700 pricier phone in terms of that regard. So, you know, you're not really paying for the iPhone 10 just to get premium performance. You're paying for design, you're paying for that logo, you're paying for that Face ID here. The LG G6 did surprisingly well for having a Snapdragon 821, but I'm gonna have to call the winner here, the iPhone 10. What are your thoughts? Drop them down below. Do you have an LG G6? Do you have an iPhone 10? And would you like to see a full comparison between these two, which I have yet to do? If there is a lot of interest in that, I will fully compare them and analyze them down to the core. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, enjoyable, entertaining, do me a favor, click the thumbs up for me. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.